You just Google that, it will come out. No? What Ched is saying is that they've devised a G curriculum that they hope will equip students with 21st century skills. No? In a world that is changing very, very fast, what they want is for students to be able, for graduates of Philippine universities to be able to have the critical thinking, synthetic skills that are necessary for that rapidly changing world. Part of that is to develop the skills of critical thinking that we can get from having a liberal arts education. And arts appreciation is part of that liberal arts orientation. That's something new. We don't have an arts appreciation course kasi in Ateneo, di ba? If you look at other Jesuit schools, they do have a visual arts course in their core, no?
Yeah, I think, ma'am, kasi from what I know, some majors are required, at least I know some are required to take art appreciation classes. And I know the medyo mixed reviews rin about it, so I think it's also something worth looking at.
Som?
So.
Especially,
I think fine arts. Fine arts are required.
Fine arts takes an aesthetics course. That's different also from art appreciation. We have to distinguish kasi between what's a major course, because for fine arts, that's their major course. This is going to be a course that is for the general student body. So it's going to be different. No? Of course, that will also mean that fine arts will have to revise its curriculum to adjust to the fact that now there's an art appreciation course in the core.
Hello po. I'm Coco from SO. So I'd like to ask regarding yung integrative course during senior year, yung discerning life questions. How exactly would this be handled? Kasi one of my fears kasi is that it seems like a very, very Jesuit, very, very holistic course. Pero one of my fears is that it might be the way it might be handled might vary very, very greatly among the different courses, the different classes, because one of my fears is that it might turn into how there are a lot of complaints sometimes with how Sci-10 is handled. So will there be explicit or specific parameters to really determine like how this class will be handled?
That's the reason why the curriculum committee is also proposing the creation of an office for the core curriculum. The core courses, although they will be, in a sense, owned by certain departments, they will also be, there will be oversight by this office. And at least the plan for now with the Discerning Life Questions course is that this will be developed by a small team that will involve some teachers from philosophy and theology, but that the course will not belong to either philosophy or theology. The course will belong to the Office for the Core Curriculum. And so they will develop the syllabus together, and they will agree on the delivery of the course. No? And that will hopefully be a guard against the course becoming dependent on who teaches it.
Just to clarify, this Office of the Core Curriculum will handle all core curriculum related subjects and inquiries then?
Yes.
Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Day from SOS Sanggunian. I'd like to ask lang what's going to happen to our general psychology course, since it wasn't mentioned in the social sciences nor in the science and technology part. And yun, sociology and anthropology. What's going to happen?
Psych 101?
Yes.
There's a course called Understanding the Self. The base of that course is psychology. No? But it's going to be understanding the self, not just but also in the context of society and culture. So it's going to be like kind of psychology, but also with social anthro. So it's an interdisciplinary course. And then social anthro, SA 21 as SA 21 may no longer be there, But Social Anthro will also be very heavily involved in both the design and the delivery of the contemporary work.
Good evening. My name is Alphonse, and I have actually two questions. So my first question is, considering in CO1 for 1, we're going to have immersions, right? And my CO professor described it as a logistical nightmare. So I was also wondering about the 8-day retreat for the discerning life questions. Would that be also a logistical concern?
Sorry, the retreat's not a requirement.
Okay.
We're just saying that parang for seniors, di ba? When you finish with the course, maganda siyang intro to the retreat. But the retreat's not,
Okay.
the retreat is not required.
I thought this was right.
No, no.
And my second question is, okay, so a bit of context. I attended this FGD about gender mainstreaming, and I was wondering why gender studies was not included within the core curriculum. Thank you.
Dr. Tolosa will answer that.
I guess when we speak of social issues and in this case social inequalities and hierarchies, that's included in some of the questions raised in the contemporary world, in which you have global or global hierarchies or inequalities. And then also probably it's going to be addressed as well even in understanding the self or even in the economy and society.
But I was just concerned because already more than half the population of Loyola schools is already female, and I was wondering, like some other universities, I think UP and TESA, they offer gender studies as part of their core curriculum and their general education curriculum or as an elective. So I was wondering why.
It can be an elective. It can be an elective. So in fact, that can be pursued along those lines. But I think part of the problem is that sometimes when you create that kind of a subject like that, it even tends to marginalize it in a way by emphasizing just one particular course rather than seeing it as something that you have to pursue in various areas.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good evening po. I'm Haya from Samsango. Clarification lang po. Kasi kumbaga, we're first year. So, the changing curriculum will be effective in 2018 to 2019. Are we still gonna have the life discernment questions since we'll be incoming third year at that time? Or is it only effective for the freshmen?
It will be effective for the incoming freshmen of school year 2018-2019.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Ricky Cabato. I'd just like to ask how the new core curriculum is going to possibly affect the enough courses, like INTAC and STP. Will we still be required to take NSTP? And since Theo 1 for 1 will be moved back, if I'm not mistaken, when will the immersion take place?
Dr. Leland de la Cruz is here. We're actually working closely with the ENAF team, because part of what also needs to be done is to revise the ENAF program to this new core. No? So, for example, one of the questions that we're trying to address at this point is if Catholic social vision, which requires the immersion, at what year level will it be, and so how will that affect the immersion, and how is immersion now going to be connected to the other aspects of ENAF, no? NSTP is a requirement of law, so NSTP is going to be there, no? But the question of what year level will it be, it might not be in second year anymore, no? Because since we're moving towards NSTP that is more discipline-based, then we might, at least what Dr. De La Cruz is proposing is that it be assigned to in a year level where students have more of their major subjects already. So maybe I should have said that in the next steps is that after this core is kind of like finalized, one of the other things that also needs to be done is to rework the ENAF program.
Thank you.
Hi, good evening po. My name is Beth Patubis, physics freshman. Tanong ko lang po, since mababawasan po yung core units namin, tanong lang if madadagdagan po ba yung major subjects?
Yun.
Curious lang po talaga.
Yeah, we had a slide for that. Sorry, I don't know why we missed it. You remember those two slides that were added? Yeah, although it won't affect you personally, no? It will affect your future fellow physics majors.
Thank you po.
We'll show you lang that certain implications. I remember what it is. It's after the MasterCard. What is the MasterCard? Show it.
The one that has Jen and
Jen and
right after. Show that first.
Okay. This is kind of like this is Dr. Vergara's representation of our curriculum and what's going to happen with senior high school and with CHED, no? With the CHED GE, no? So part of the core will go to senior high school, and then part of the core is the CHED GE, no? Okay. So the CHED GE is not our core, huh? We have a core, and then we just have part of that. Part of the core will comply with the CHED GE. And then, so what's going the implication kasi for K to 12 is when we transfer the content to grades 11 and 12. So the question that we have to ask is what can we assume already that will already be tackled in high school? Because that we will need that in terms of planning the courses for our core. And then secondly, for the CHED GE curriculum, so we're going from 63 units to 36. And so the question that is before all of us, no, in Ateneo is which subjects in the core will cover these subjects, will cover the CHED GE subjects, and which additional subjects are needed to support our institutional mission, no, as the Ateneo. Then finally, to answer your question, there are PSGs means policy standards and guidelines. So the CHED has policy standards and guidelines for every single undergraduate degree program. And for the majors curricula, the possibility really is that because the CHED GE is reduced from 63 to 36, that some of the technical panels for these particular programs may want to increase the number of major subjects. And so we have to, units under the core curriculum will obviously affect the number of units allowed for the major courses. So to answer the question, will there be more major subjects as a result of reduced core? The answer is possibly. No? Depends on what will happen in CHED. No? Kasi CHED is the one also that determines what the minimum requirements are for the major. You want to say Dr. Regal, will add.
I'll add that we will make communication to CHED to give us a little more autonomy, right? Because we're an autonomous institution. But in general, we have always attempted to comply with these guidelines. So absent that we're left with little choice. But we will argue for space so that we're given the flexibility. And part of it's like once we finalize our core, we will say this is our core curriculum. This is the consequence for our majors curriculum. That's why there's a proposal saying we will have at least maybe 140 or 138 total units, and then at most 170 plus units for a 4-year curriculum. And that would mean technical panels don't make it so that we cannot make it fit. Right? We will make that communication to CHED as well.
Okay, good ma'am. I'm Ray John, AP Pol Sci, right here. Just gonna ask po, kung madadali yung subjects at mag-iiba yung mga subjects, paano po nito maapektuhan yung, if ever meron, ang tuition fee?
Tuition fee.
Tuition fee. Tuition fee.
Right. So actually, it's an opportunity for us to revisit our tuition fee structure. So baka that's the best time to go to a per unit tuition fee thing. So if you for those who weren't there, a lot of you weren't there. We're trying to also review the tuition fee structure. Para we're closer to the per unit charging. For the longest time, we've had a tuition fee structure where meron lang full load, di ba? Doesn't matter whether like from 12 to your program of study. So we can revisit that once the new core curriculum comes in and once the new curriculum come in 2018. So expect a revamp in at least for incoming freshmen. Of course, for those who are freshmen now, you'll probably be living the structure. We've been doing little changes now so that we'll be readier for that structure, tuition fee structure.
Hello. Since the tuition fee issue was brought up, I was wondering then about the profs. Like, would they be at a disadvantage to this regarding, I guess, their salary?
Don't worry. I'll say I got this covered. See, the good thing about it, so all this, see, apparently all come together. So my own skill set is in the numbers and all that. So when 3 years ago, we knew all these things were happening already. The calendar change, the K-12 enrollment dip next year, right? And the core curriculum, right? So we made the decision 3 years ago to increase our student population to 10,000 by 2020. So 2,500 freshmen per batch, maybe 2,550. Okay, what does that mean? That's a 25% increase in students taking courses, right? Now, if you notice, it falls in place now. If there's some reduction, all of the reduction that you're seeing here is no more than 25 or 30% per department. Okay, so professors will not be hit in that sense in terms of load. Okay, so 25% reduction in what you need to teach is compensated by a 25% increase in students who will take the courses. So we're one university who have prepared for the consequences on our faculty. Okay, so there's little to worry about that. I think as far as I'm always on the numbers when once the developments in the curriculum committee come up, is to make sure that that it is indeed viable. So that's not to worry about.
Good evening, I'm Nicole and I'm an AD Psych graduate actually. Just a curious question. So obviously right now the proposal isn't final, but how do you decide which subjects will truly be part of the final core curriculum? Do you have, for example, prototype syllabi already to prevent overlaps or to truly decide this is necessary for the core? Just want to make sure of it.
With regard to content, we're working with departments already. For example, at least the ones that are clearer, no? For example, the ChenGE courses, that one for sure will be part of the new core. No? And so we're already working with specific departments in developing the syllabi for those courses. No? So for example, understanding the self, which site worked on together with Social Anthro, they actually already have a proposed syllabus. And so that's actually, I mean, the first part will be the decision on the core, and then after that we will start developing the syllabi for the different courses. Yeah, as I said a while ago, what we'll do with the proposal has to be approved first by the school council, and then after that we will work on the details of the courses.
Ako po ulit. Pinupush po sa yung life discernment. Can we take this as an elective if ever?
It's required.
Like now?
Ano po, when it's already effective in school year 2018-2019, since it's for the freshman lang, pwede po ba?
Well, the difficulty. Gusto yung maging guinea pig, kayo yung muna. Kasi what will happen is that that course will be assigned to senior year. So it's not going to be offered in school year 2018-2019, diba? Unless it's offered earlier, like on a pilot basis, and then offered as an elective. I mean, if you're asking for the possibility that you guys will be able to take it, yeah, we can work. We can try to work on that.
Thank you po.
Yeah, I think in fact that's what we're prepping for 2016 to 2018. It will be preparations for all these new courses, right? And hopefully there will be opportunity to pilot, and some of you will be actually able to take it. I'll add also that it's not going to be easy. I mean, that's why it will be an office for the core curriculum. We know it's this interdisciplinary thing, this interdisciplinary teaching is fairly new animal, but I think we need to get better at this. I mean, I've heard criticisms about Science 10, for example, but we're on it, right? We're on it. At least we have people working on it and see how to get better at it. Kasi all the other courses are also interdisciplinary. Contemporary world, the SOCSI will need to come together to come up with their own course similar to Science 10, but only for their disciplines. So we know that it's a challenging thing, but the entire country will do it. So we'll need to be maybe the leader in being better in teaching these courses.
Second question po. Clarification na po siya actually. Di ba po still have the remedial courses? Like Math 1 and 10?
This question.
Most
Questions right there.
we will most likely still need remedial courses, remediation. We are preparing for the real likelihood that K-12 will not work as well in the first few years, so we will need to provide for remediation.
Thank you po.
Pwede po ba pakilinaw kung ano yung specificong ibig sabihin ng faculty retooling? Kasi nasagot na po yung tanong ng sweldo, pero maapektuhan po ba yung bilang ng kaguruan?
Retooling means, for example, there are a number of interdisciplinary courses, especially in the social sciences. You have a course like Economy, Society, and Development. That to you might sound like an economics course, but it's really a course that involves the economics department, political science, development studies, and so on. And so the faculty who will teach that course, in effect, need to train themselves. That's what we mean by retooling. No? That there are certain, because of the move towards interdisciplinarity, then faculty will really have to be trained to teach these new courses. That's what retooling means.
Part of your question was about account. So hindi mababawasan. Mababawasan ang load ng mga na sa curriculum, pero yung faculty load will not change, right? So parang, as I told you, like kunyari, Filipino department. So from 9 units, they're probably between 6 and 7 kasi they participate in art and appreciation malamang, right? So that's a 25% reduction in what they will teach. But there will be a 25% increase in students who will take subjects. So it will even out. There will be enough load for all faculty. So yung number, yung bilang ng guro ay pareho pa rin na kailangan. Ang difficulty, kaya may retooling, is hindi pareho yung tuturo mo. So essentially what
Hello. I noticed that there are only 3 required math units, and I'm assuming this is simple math. But assuming that there are K-12, students taking up strands that don't have as much foundation in math, but are allowed to take higher math-intensive courses in Ateneo, such as biology or chemistry or physics, how will the Ateneo make sure that every freshman in this kind of case is prepared for the classes?
that's part of the majors curriculum already. So the math requirement shown in the CHED is like for all majors, but definitely for the science majors, computer science, and management, they will have a math requirement that's stipulated in the respective technical panel pronouncements, and we will have more math there.
Hello po, good evening po. Ako po si Johannes Unada mula sa 4PS ECE. Ang tanong ko lang po is, gaano po kahanda yung mga professor na magiging prof sa mga subjects na i-implement kayo? Mayroon bang programa ang BLS or ang ADA para sa mga professor na to?
So, for example, science 10, we are actually reviewing that.
Oh my God.
We're reviewing that, we're figuring out how to come up with material, how to orient the faculty, and like we're spending on that event. And I expect that to be replicated for the other courses. Okay, so meron tayong mga ilang taon pa, 2 kalahating taon para maging mas handa. Okay, and we will take it one at a time, but we need to be ready for the freshman courses and so on. So we need the faculty to come together to make this work well. Actually, meron pang ibang aspeto yun sa CHED, kasi dun sa ibang eskwelahan, mawawalan ng load yung mga teacher, right? And CHED is addressing that by providing grants for them, for training, for studies, so that they can learn how to teach these new courses. So I expect Ateneo to play a role, right, in helping train the other teachers in these things. So we should learn to teach science, technology, and society well. We should learn to teach discerning life questions well, and so on, because that will help us teach others how to make this interdisciplinary way orientation work for faculty.
Okay, tapos isa po, tungkol po sa Office of the Core Curriculum, nakita ko po sa handbook, yung curriculum is under the school council, is meron ding curriculum under the ADAA. Ask ko lang po, saan kami ng opisina magre-refer ng Office of the Core Curriculum? Gano'n siya kaiba sa committee at sino mga opisina magre-refer sa kanila?
Okay, hindi pa yan sigurado, pero malamang ang mangyayari ay yung Office of the Core Curriculum will report to the ADAA, but we're considering a permutation where they report to the VPLS. Kasi para siyang department, pero hindi talaga department, diba? They will probably draw faculty from other departments. Meron din kami iniisip na the different schools will have their own hubs for interdisciplinary things. If you think of School of Humanities and Interdisciplinary Studies, sila yung bagay na hub for interdisciplinary kind of courses. We're thinking of an integrated science department in SOSE, that think of health sci, think of science 10, yan siya bagay hubs, right? So we're thinking of a similar structure that happens also in School of Social Sciences. So we'll evaluate the structure. I actually have a restructuring committee who will also look into that, and we should make a decision on that.
Last one po talaga. Nakita ko po kasi wala pong PE, or baka namalikmata lang ako. Ano po mangyayari? Hindi na po ba siya required?
PE is required. Because it's a separate CMO. It's a separate memorandum order. So there will still be 8 units of PE required in the college level.
Hindi lang po sa core curriculum po baga nakalista.
Yes.
Salamat po.
Hi, good evening. I'm Gabrielina. I have 2 questions actually. One, there was already brought up kanina yung remedial subjects like English and Math 1. What about merit English or Filipino honors classes?
The committee is also still studying both remediation and advanced placement. So there is a possibility that the advanced placement system will be credit by examination and all of that. Yeah, it's also being reviewed.
And my second question. So how will the revised or the proposed revised core curriculum affect cross-enrolling opportunities for students, especially those in small courses?
I'm sorry, what do you mean by cross-enrolling?
It's more of like getting units from other courses or departments to as a
Universities.
Or
You mean,
university.
Monoling is defined under the handbook as taking the class in a different school.
Oh, you mean like you take the course in
You
UP?
take the course in UP or in LaSalle. But it's, whenever it's credited, it's credited here, right?
Yeah, and then you validate it
Yeah.
here. Okay. Those kinds of details we haven't worked out yet. At the moment, right now, the requirement is that you cannot cross enroll a core curriculum course. That's the current regulation. But we haven't gotten that far yet.
Thank you, ma'am.
Hi po, ma'am. I'm Anton from 2ABDFIR. Can I just get a clarification lang po on if the core curriculum changes will affect the amount of units you'll need to be taking if, say, you want to minor in something?
Oh, the other thing that also has to be reviewed after the core curriculum is approved are the minor programs. So we're going to be reviewing the majors curricula and then the minor programs also.
Good evening, I'm Mark Mongardia from European Studies. For the GE courses that will require joint efforts of two or more departments, will the classes then have 2 or more professors similar to certain sections in the science and society classes?
Team teaching is a possibility, but for example, in the social sciences, they're working towards the courses not being taught. And that's why faculty retooling is needed.
Hi, I'm Clarice from SOS. During the last faculty meeting in which this was shown, did the faculty bring up any issues? And if so, how were they addressed?
Faculty bring up any issues. The English department brought up the issue of a significant reduction in the language and literature courses in the core. That was one issue that was brought up. How was that addressed? It was addressed with representatives of the curriculum committee meeting with both the outgoing and incoming chairs of the English department to see and to work out what adjustments could be made. So that was one issue. What was the issue?
Discerning life questions can be taught by someone other than you or you.
There was a question also about who would teach the discerning life questions. If it could be somebody outside of theology and philosophy. And that one, of course, it's open to that.
Good evening. I'm Jay.
Yeah, I know. I'm not reading though. Later.
Tanong ko po, first question is,
Going
I
well.
heard from one of my profs that Sci-10 actually used to be a prereq for Philo 101. And
Or something like that.
if that's true, is there a move to perhaps bring more of the philosophical aspect back into Sci-10?
If I recall correctly, it wasn't strictly a prereq in the sense that if you did not take Sci-10, you could not take Philo. No? It wasn't strictly a prereq. But the way Sci-10 was originally envisioned and designed was that that there were certain questions that science could answer, and there were certain questions that science could no longer answer, and therefore you move into philosophy. Parang ganun. But it wasn't strictly a prerequisite.
Last question. I'm sorry because I came in late. I came from class. But has the question of the possibility of having some subjects in
yes.
the core curriculum been addressed?
No. Some subjects in the core curriculum. I think one of the things kasi that would come up is the question as to whether there could be like more practical subjects like financial literacy, mga ganun, in the core, no? And we're hoping that can be addressed with the course on math in the modern world. So how can some participate in the core? One way is through the interdisciplinary electives that we're hoping that some will also offer interdisciplinary electives that are directed towards the three other schools.
Thank you. We're going to require accounting for all.
Okay, so I have a question for Saitan. Okay, I've never taken Saitan before, but I was wondering if it will be the same situation as in today, wherein not all courses will have Saitan.
Oh, Science 10, which in our proposal is Science, Technology, and Society is required of all students now because it is a CHED GE course. So what we're trying to work out lang is, will that course be different for science majors as opposed to non-science majors?
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Randall from SOSA, and I'd like to ask if SOSA majors have to take Science, Technology, and Society.
Yes, they will have to.
What? Why do they have to do that?
Because Science, Technology, and Society is a CHED GE course. So it will be required of all.
Yes. As if we don't already dive deep into the sciences and realize what science is for in our world. We do that already. We do papers, we research, we do things.
Yeah, there's as John Dr. Fidel has put it, one is the compliance part, because it has to be part of your curriculum. Second, keep an open mind, because there's always aspects of science that you don't know, even if you're a science major. There's philosophy of science, for example, which takes would have integrative role in that course, I would think. Okay, and I say just keep an open mind, and that's part of why we're reviewing that course.
Just a second other random question. Do we have to use the names that are given by CHED for the course?
It's always safest to do that because when they come here and say, are you compliant, then it's best to match those names. But we don't have to answer your question quite quickly, but we have to explain more.
Okay.
Good evening, sir. My name is Todd. I'm from Seoul. My question is, I am sure that most of the students have this prevalent understanding that the curriculum is just a set of courses that you have to study for you to earn a degree. Now, if this new curriculum is implemented in 2018, what is the strategy of the university for the new students to better understand the deeper meaning of this curriculum and to better appreciate it? Like the Jesuit ideals, the whatever that's imbued in this new curriculum. What is the strategy of the university for the common students to understand it better?
Well, actually, the philosophy behind it was explained in the slides, right? So, a strategy of communicating. I would say very quickly, like the easiest answer there is part of the reason why your parents send you to Ateneus because they know. Right? And they know what it's all about. That's the reason why there was noise when the core curriculum was being reviewed or revised. When there was news, they know that it's all about holistic education, keeping relevant, having a more well-rounded view of our own education. I think maybe you can think about this. I would think it would sound arrogant, but probably less. We don't need to market as much, but we will think about it and see what we need to do as far as this is concerned. My best answer is we will be ahead of it, right? We'll try to make it work first. Better.
Hello po, my name is Megha for APCOR. I was just curious about what's going to happen to the merit honors classes, like merit English, Filipino, or even the advanced placement exams and classes. Like what?
That was asked na ata.
We're going to be reviewing both the remedial classes and the advanced placement classes. So that's part of what the committee has to review in relation to the language and the math courses.
I'm sorry. So there is a possibility na baka hindi na magkakaroon ng honors Phil or honors English.
It's hard to answer that because that's something that will be discussed with the English and the Filipino department. Thank you.
I'm Jason from SOSA. I have a question regarding what would happen to
would you consider TU for non-Catholics?
Louder.
Would you consider a theology course for non-Catholics?
In the core? Or as an elective?
Or something.
As an elective, the Theo department is open to. Instead of, parang gano'n? Unfortunately, the way we are looking at it now is that the theology courses will be part of what we call the inner core, so it will be required for all our students.
Last question galing sa Philippines.
Okay, hi. So I am Bianca.
I raise your face.
I just have one question, I guess. For my contemporary world subject, if I'm not mistaken, I heard that it's a mix of econ, pol sci, DS together. Am I correct? So I was just wondering who will be the professor teaching this? Because, for example, if you're gonna get a pol sci major to teach this subject, and it's kind of interrelated, I see the point in it, but wouldn't that professor have a certain bias in teaching?
Well, we've created working groups. In fact, for all the social sciences core subjects, they really are interdisciplinary. But at the same time, we do see that there would still be some disciplinary base. Obviously, for economy, society, and development, it still will have to include a lot of economics. But I guess the contribution there is that you also see economic processes as socially embedded, even in college or institutions. So I think what's going to happen is that you will probably have faculty who will be interested in these courses to come together, maybe agree on maybe some common readings, and also common syllabi. But yes, obviously there would also be some slants or nuances that would depend on the faculty. So in a sense, students may still have some range of choices depending on the faculty. But something like contemporary world would probably be the most interdisciplinary. Although we see now, we're going to have a meeting next week, we do see that it's going to have also a lot of input from maybe sociology and anthropology and history. So this is something that will be worked on. But yes, there will be some range still, but there will be some common readings. That's how we see it developing.
Okay, so first let's thank the members of the curriculum committee. So thank you everyone for attending. It was a very fruitful forum. For those who still have concerns and want to voice of things, just tweet your concerns at Facebook. Use the hashtag Ateneo at the core.
Can we ask them now? Are we allowed to ask them now?
Yeah, just tweet it.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So thank you very much for attending.
That has been Sangguniang DPR covering Ateneo at the core. We hope that you guys took a lot from this forum. We hope that your concerns may be answered, and we hope that you continue to engage in these things. Hi. Hello. And that's it. This is your Sangguniang signing off.